Today we are looking at our 9-day-old chicks, and we're going to see how much they have grown and what we're going to do. As I sit here and plan for the day, I can check the temperature in the brooder on my telephone, and it's telling me that it's 33.7 degrees, which is quite high, so I need to go down there and look why it's that high. But as I sit here, I am looking at their feeding schedule, which I have prepared. And this feeding schedule is for the whole period from day 1 up to the laying period. And today is the first time that we're going to give them another type of feed. We are changing from the pre-starter to the starter feed. And when we're giving them this starter feed, we need to gradually change it. First, we have to prepare the new feed, and then we are going to mix it with the previous feed. This new feed needs to be mixed. The first feed we didn't need to mix. This one we need to mix. And therefore, that's why I have these papers that I have prepared. But first of all, I need to go down there to the brooder and see why the temperature showed 33 degrees, because that's quite high. So that's why now I have to walk to the brooder and just check it up. Then at the same time, I will start preparing the feed, the mix. And today, again, is the first time that we are preparing this mix. We have never prepared it. It's the first time. We're going to use a formula that we have got from the manufacturers of this feed, and this is what you have to do. So you can see we are starting from pre-starter. We are leaving pre-starter and we are going to starter. The pre-starter is supposed to be used from 0 to 10 days, and the starter is supposed to be used from the first week. And therefore, there are 3 days that overlap, and those are the days that you have to mix the feed to a certain ratio. And so let's go up the brooder and just look what is happening there. So you can see there it was 30 degrees. So it's still very high because we are now on the week 2. We are supposed to be having 29. So what we need to do is to open the windows a little, remove the covering so that there's a bit of ventilation. And we can look at our chicks also to see if they are actually running away from the heat source. And then we put off the electric bulbs so that we can lower this temperature. And this is what we have done. And we have also opened our windows on the far side. Both sides of the brooder have to be open so that there's air flowing through the brooder. And we also put off the light here where we have a little dispensary. This is a little hospital where we keep our chicks that are not feeling very well. And as you can see, our chicks are very happy. These are 9-day-old chicks, and this is how they look like. They are trying to jump, they're trying to run, and they're learning how to fly. So very soon they'll be just jumping out of this brooder. And this is how 9-day-old chicks look like. You can compare with our first video where we show you our 1-day-old chick and every day up to today. So you can see they're very active. They're running, they're jumping, they're flying, they're eating. They're doing everything that a chick is supposed to do. And they're very, very happy. So as I said, today is the day that we are going to prepare our new feed. And we've already bought the concentrate, we have already bought the maize, and we have already bought the wheat bran. These are the 3 things that we are going to mix. And the concentrate that we are going to use is called KBC 3035. So we're going to use the KBC, that's the Coge's broiler concentrate that you use at this stage to make them grow so that they'll mature well enough to be able to lay the eggs. And this is what we are going to mix, and we will mix it and then give it to them. And we are going to do a gradual change. A gradual change means that we take the first pre-starter feed, which was not mixed. It was called Galdus, and we mix it with this new mixed food that we are going to make. So we start with today, where we take 75-25. Tomorrow will be 50-50, and the next day will be 25-75. These are percentages. So today we take 75% of the Galdus and mix it with 25% of the KBC mix that we have made. Tomorrow we'll take 50% of the Galdus and mix it with 50% of the mix that we are going to make. The third day, then we will take 25% of the Galdus and mix it with 75% of the new mix that we are going to make. And after those 3 days, then we'll completely go over to the KBC 3035. That's the broiler concentrate. And we will forget about the Galdus, which is the pre-starter. And we will continue with this for a few weeks until we again change the formulation. And every week we will need to be calculating the number of grams that each chick is supposed to eat, so that we make those quantities every week. This is how you mix the feed. So here they're running and playing, and they're very happy. They love these games. They like playing with their wings. Wow, you can see how they're jumping. They're like small helicopters, or they just train how to fly, which is really amazing. You can see how much energy they have. And like I told you, we are going to mix today. And before I do that, I have to have a balance that I'm going to weigh all these ingredients. And therefore, I have this new balance with me that I will try to connect. So I will have to connect the cables because they were not connected when I traveled with it. I had to dismantle it so that I could pack it and put it in my luggage. That's why. So now I have to put it up together, and that's the electric cables that I need to fix and check that it's working, so that we shall be able to weigh our feed before we mix it. I think it's very good to have a balance so that you're sure that you're mixing the right quantities in the right proportions. Like it is, chicken feed is very expensive. And I think it's very important that one does it correct from the beginning, because this is what really is going to give you the eggs at the end of this journey. And therefore here I am just fixing this machine to make sure that it works. And I think I'm managing quite well. And now let me go and test it and see if it will work. And so I will just plug it in this socket of mine. These sockets are very nice because you can plug in a European cable inside without needing an adapter, because they're universal sockets. And here I am testing my balance, and it's actually working. So it's working, and now the next thing is just to go and pick all the ingredients that I need. Then I shall mix them up. And here it is. I started with weighing the broken maize. So at this chick stage, you actually use very, very fine maize It's almost like a powder because the chicks cannot swallow very big bits. So it's actually very, very small bits, almost like a powder that you mix. You weigh it. And then after that, we've weighed the concentrate. That dark one is the KBC, or the Koji's broiler concentrate. It's called KBC, and that's what we have there. And this time we're using 35%. That's quite high. So this is what we have weighed, and we will put it there. And after that, we shall be weighing the wheat bran, which we'll also put there, and then we shall mix. So let's start mixing.